Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream. You can't see me, but I can see all of you. How are you doing, guys? Very warm welcome to everyone in the chat. Let me first bring myself on the screen here. There I am. Oh my God. With a lot of things overlapping. Hello, chat. How are you? So, we have the All Indian clash. Vidit Gujrathi takes on Pentala Harikrishna here, and we have the live cam here from Prague. So, very excited for this stream and to see what is in store for today's match. We have a very wild position on the board. In fact, I don't know what has happened, and we are going to look through this game and try to figure out what has just transpired. Let me go to the live board. Let me see if I can take you. Nice. And this is the live board also here that we have. So you can, we will be able to follow it here and also analyze it on that board. So I came like pretty well prepared today. We'll be able to analyze plus do all of that. Yeah, all set. This looks good. Currently, it's Harikrishna's move, but let's take the game from the very beginning. Sagar, can we try to dissect it without an engine for a bit? Ah, nice idea, Peter Cavan. Let's try to dissect it without an engine. Hello, Sisha. Okay, let's get to the main board and try to see the game from the beginning, and then we will quickly reach here and we'll try to see how it goes. Okay, let me just try doing that. Here is the game from the start. Okay, so d4 has been played on the board. First move by Harikrishna, and Vidit plays knight to f6 here. Okay, why is Vidit not visible? Guys, you can see Vidit there in the background. He's standing there. He looks confident. Harikrishna also thinking for his move. If we see the live board position, you will see that it's a crazy position, but we'll get to it how we reach there. So c4 by Hari, e6 on the board, and then knight to c3 played, and now Vidit played the Nimzo Indian. So what is the move here that starts the Nimzo Indian? Can anyone tell me what is the move here? What is the move here? And let's see what the chat has to say. Let me get the board here. Nice. Bishop b4 is the correct move by all of you. Fantastic job by Pranay Akula, Sumit Puri, Chandan Nagar, Prajwal Bhatt, Manasa, Mudit, Rakshit, Sarat, Anunad, and Renu. Fantastic. Okay. Going back to the live board here. Going back to the board. Now, Bishop b4 was played in this position. It's the Nimzo Indian. And e3 played by Harikrishna. This is known as the Rubinstein system. Okay. Vidit goes castles. And Harikrishna brings his bishop out to d3. Very logical play, developing all of his pieces. Now, as you can see on the video. Keep an eye on the video to see both the players, like you can see Vidit looking confident, praying there on his opponent as if he has something in his mind. Harikrishna very concentrated there, very focused. And the move that Vidit played now is d5. He struck in the center with the move d5. Very stable, very steady move. Now, an important move was played here, which is cd, ed, and a3. If you guys know, this has been played against Vidit quite some times. There was one game in which Vidit lost. Do you guys remember against whom it was? Peter says this is the craziest position I've seen in the long time. Himank says Vidit just offered an exchange. Oh, guys. Maza aane wala hai, maza aane wala hai. We are going to go through step by step. So, you get the plot slowly and steadily, and then we can immerse, because this game is going to go on for at least an hour or so, I feel. Yes, Aronian, absolutely. And then a lot of players have played. Yes, Jordan also played with him, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Rapport played this with him. So, a lot of people are playing this opening against Vidit. It seems like this is something that Vidit, people feel that this is something where they can hit him. But of course, a top player like Vidit would have fixed his repertoire. He goes Queen C2, BD6, Queen C2. The idea here is, if I am careless, okay, and I play the move H6 here, why would this not be a good move? Can anyone in the chat tell me why is this not a good idea? Anyone? Peter says, I still don't know about this E3 Nimzo. I've never been a fan of it. I have played it a lot, Peter, and it's a very, how would you say? It's a restrained approach. You don't want to put your bishop out there. You want to keep it in, and later on, you want to develop it maybe with F3, E4, or you might want to put your bishop here and then bishop B2, sometimes bishop D2, E1, F3, bishop H4. There are many ways to develop that bishop. It's something which is like, it grows on you. It's like, oh, by the way, Hari is making his move. He's played Rook D1, just so that you know what the live position also is. Rook D1 on the board. Vidit has only 25 minutes on the clock, and this crazy position, Vidit offered an exchange. Hari is looking there. We're going to see it. We're going to get there quickly, guys. But first, let's go step by step. What is the move that you all have said in this position after H6? Knight to B5. Absolutely right. Those who have said Knight B5, fantastic. What is E4, guys? Not E4. Knight B5. Aryan, Sumit, Chandan Nagar, Aman Singh, Suryansh, Prajwal, Vignesh, Samyak, Sampa, and Pranay Akula. Fantastic job. Okay. Going back to the board. So not H6, Knight B5 would just net this bishop because C7 is also hanging. So this is not something you play. Vidit goes in this position C6, stopping it. Then comes Knight GE2. Okay. Knight GE2 has been played. And then Rook E8. Vidit puts his rook on the open file. Bishop D2 on the board. And after Bishop D2, Vidit plays the move B6. This is all part of his preparation. He plays B6 over here. He wants to put his bishop on B7 or also on A6 to exchange it. F3 played here, and Vidit goes C5. So this is the position on the board, and here Harikrishna decides to already start some kind of an interesting play. And this is something which Harikrishna on the board, I think he thought of this concept on the board. He could have gone G4, which is a very aggressive move, just, like hurling his pawns down to the king side. This would have been very exciting. But B4 was played by Hari. And then Vidit here thought for a very long time. There are many ways to play, like C4 is possible and many other things. But Vidit asked Hari, why are you giving me a free pawn? Why, I will take your pawn. And he took it. And now Harikrishna, after c takes b4 in this position, decided to play knight to b5. So now he is threatening to take here and then take this pawn with his bishop. So Vidit once again said, Hari, why are you giving me a pawn? I will take your pawn. So he took another pawn here with b takes a3. To which Harikrishna said, I want to break in the center with e4. Guys, the game is getting very crazy and complicated. Also, the fact that white's king is in the center makes it even more exciting. So Vidit decided to now chop off in the center. F takes e4. Asim, no, it doesn't trap the bishop here because after c4 you have bishop f5. This square is still available, so it was not a trap. e4, d takes e4, f takes e4, played. Okay, and now in this position bishop to a6 played by Vidit, a very interesting move. In fact, Vidit could have also gone to the other side here with bishop to g4, and that would have made even Harikrishna's task tougher, because after e5 over here there is a very strong move that is possible, and I think it was not at all easy to foresee this move. What is that move? But with it, yes, Abhinav Agarwal, you are right. The move that is very strong here is just dropping your bishop back. Now two questions come to mind. First is, can we take on f6 a free piece? And second is, can we go knight to b5, knight to c7? So e takes f6 is met with queen takes f6, and you have to assess this position. It's not at all easy, but you have to assess it as to who is better. And according to the engines, black is doing very well, which is very difficult to understand. Knight c7 is relatively easier to understand because you have a very direct move, bishop e2. If bishop takes e2, you can take on d4, attack this rook. Also the e5 pawn would be under pressure, so that is not so great. And if you take knight e8, I can play bishop d3, knight f6, gf6, queen d3, and also in this resulting position after knight c6, black is doing excellently well over here as well. So Vidit definitely had bishop g4, but it was too complex. Vidit said, I'll put my bishop on a6. You know, I will put it there so that I can chop off this knight whenever I want. Hari says, but Vidit, I am anyway going e5 in the position. Now Vidit is losing a piece because it's a pawn fork. So what did Vidit play here, which is a very nice move? It's a very strong and powerful move that Vidit executed in this position. Let's see if you guys can come up with the move. Very nice move. Yeah, so the move that was played in this position, let me see if you guys were able to guess it. Yes, fantastic job. Vidit gave up a piece. Bishop takes e5. Kavya, Anukul, Parth, Nilesh, Mehta, Ujwal, Sagun, Adarsh, Arka, Jai. Well done. So bishop takes e5 was played. D takes e5. And now the rook came to e5. Very, very nice position, because now you are threatening to win this knight. And you can't move this knight because then your bishop would hang. And you may want to defend this knight here with, let's say, rook to b1. But then there are many ways to put pressure. You can go queen d7, more pressure on the position, and this is losing. Anukul says, okay, Anukul has a very good question. Very quickly I will answer it because it is a very relevant question he has asked. After bishop, Vidit played bishop a6, but after bishop g4, e5, bishop f8, e takes f6, queen takes f6, knight c7. He says, how is white better? How is black better here? And a very good question. Let's see if you guys in the chat can answer this one. Very tough. What should black play here? It's like what is on the board is more important than what goes out of it. You have to look at what are your good possibilities in this position. This is a very tough one to find. Well, the problem with queen takes d4, in my opinion, is bishop c3. I will defend my rook. I know you guys want to take it. But the very powerful move here, and that has been suggested by a few of you, is knight to c6. Pranay Akula, Shiva Krishna, Anish Giri fan page, Aman Singh, Apurva Sharma, Shubham Jagdap and Shashwat Panda. You put your knight on c6 and you are not afraid of him taking your rook because you will take it back. And look at this. You have 3 pieces on the board and a rook. He has an extra rook, but that rook is not playing. And so guys, remember, this is a very difficult thing to master in chess, when to give up material. But often when his opponent's king is weak and your pieces are in play, it can be a good idea to give up material for an attack. But again, it all depends on specifics very, very much. Let's get back to the board. Now, I hope that was clarified. Yes, knight d4 is very strong now, and it's somehow very difficult to handle this move. In the game, bishop a6 was played. Harikrishna now went for it with e5. Vidit took, and rook takes e5 also came on the board. I'm actually very surprised, because Hari played the move, now not rook b1 but bishop c3. And Harikrishna's point here was that I am actually going to attack your rook here, and if you decide to go back here, just in case, then I will play castles and I will have my rook active, bishop active, bishop active, the knight is well placed, this knight, and what do 4 pawns mean? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, black is 4 pawns for a piece. But what does it mean? It means nothing, because white pieces are so active. So that's the reason why you couldn't play rook e8. But what Vidit could have played here? Vidit could have played. Oh, by the way, I can actually put a live board here, right? That would be smart from me. I should learn all these things. Yeah. Okay. That looks good, right? So you know what the live position is. Rookie errors, yeah, rookie errors. So now bishop c3, I can take here with it actually to bishop c3, played the move knight to c6. A very, very interesting decision by the India number 2 against India number 3. This is a very, very interesting game. You know, I keep on repeating it because these two players have been constantly fighting with each other, not as such, with your rating points, always one player goes up, one player goes down. Here why did Vidit not take on b5 is my question. Because on one hand, if opponent plays bishop b5, you can play rook b5 and you have recovered your piece with 4 extra pawns. So that is just clearly better. Also notice that if you take bishop takes f6, I will take back with the pawn, not with the queen. Why not with the queen? Anyone? Queen e4 and you can win the rook, right? Just asking, guys. Array, chat is very active, very alert. Very alert. Not queen e4. There is no rook to be won there because of knight c6. But the move that you all have seen and seen very well is queen c8 with a mate. An excellent job here done by all of you. Fantastic. Sumit, Mukul, Chandan Nagar, Hayes, Rishi Agarwal, Abhinav, Mistadam, Sagun Acharya, Rakshit Singh and Sakar Kaushik. Well done, all of you. Let's go back to the board here. And now, after... So, bishop b5, maybe Harikrishna would not have taken, but he would have gone bishop e5. But after queen takes d3, I think Vidit missed something. Maybe Vidit thought, oh, queen c8 is a mate. But there is knight e8 defending the mate. And you have a good position here. Because e2 pe there is a checkmate. Maybe he thought bishop d3, queen d3, bishop d3, bishop f6, gf6 and rook a3 gives him something to worry about. But actually after a move like bishop c4, it's black who is pressing here. He's going to put his pawn on b5. Knight comes to c6 and he is doing very well. So, I'm just wondering as to why did Vidit not take on b5 here? Because if he would have taken it, any reason why he would not take? Because bishop b5, rook b5 is completely fine. So what he would not have liked is take, and queen d3. This position, something he must not have liked. Yeah, very interesting move. What should black do here? Black to play. So many of you are saying bishop b5, but that is a blunder because after rook d8 check, whatever you interpose with, white is just winning. White would be now a rook up with king d2 coming up and stopping this pawn. So not this move, but all those who rightly pointed out the move here, knight c6, Mahroof Hussain, Yash Kambli, Graham Pawar, very good. Knight c6, hitting this bishop. If you take here, I will take here. So he takes bishop f6 and now a very important intermediate move. What is it, guys? Can you tell me? What is the move here? Yeah. Excellent job by all of you. Bishop takes e2 is the correct move. I take this intermediate move, hit your rook. Next move, I'll take this and black is way better. So, this was something that could have been played, but I have a feeling that something was missed here by Vidit after bishop b5. He must have felt something is wrong. So he went for the move knight to c6. And this gives Harikrishna an opportunity, a chance. And Harikrishna takes it. You know, he finds a great move here. Can you guys also find it? What is the move that Harikrishna played here? Because clearly what Vidit wants, and very clearly what he wants, is for Harikrishna to take on e5. So once you take it, what is the move that Vidit has prepared? Yes, Rook d1 is correct that Harikrishna played here. Enver Gaming, Bharat Jawar, Alagappan, Sai Alagappan, Bondita, Jaguar, Nikhil, Ujjwal Agarwal. Well done. But here is the move that Vidit had very nicely prepared. Yes, Parth Dhanwani, Dodo, Akshay Arora, all very alert. Not knight takes e5, because knight takes e5 does attack here, but rook takes a3 and white is in the game. The move is actually knight to b4, attacking the queen and also the bishop. If the queen moves, knight takes d3 is a check, and that is some big trouble coming your way. So that's the reason why not to play this way. And Harikrishna found the best move here, keeping control of this square and also defending his with rook d1. And now my question, which I want at least 100 of you to answer. Okay, guys, please, 100 of you should answer. What happens after rook e8? What if Vidit had saved his rook here? What is the move that Harikrishna had prepared? Yeah, phenomenal job by all of you. Let's see if we got to 100 here. Yes, 150. Chess Tricks and Traps, Nicholas Alexander, Deepak Kumar, Pranay Akula, Mista Dam, Manav Rawal, Movies Adda, Dortik, Dodo, Vignesh Kannan. Bishop takes h7, check, and you pick up the queen on d8, just winning the queen. So that was Harikrishna's brutal idea in the position. That's the reason why he played it here. And going back now, so knight c6, rook d1, Vidit said, by queen, bhago, let's run away from that file. So he played queen to e7. And now Hari said to Vidit, look, if I don't take your rook now, you're going to escape. And materially, Harikrishna is right now a piece up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vidit has 1, 2, 3. So when you take a rook, now the resulting material balance is Vidit is now a, what is he down? Guys, what is he down? It's a question to all of you so that you know what is happening on the board. He will be a rook down, but he has 4 pawns for it. So rook for 4 pawns for a rook, which is simply amazing. And also, if you give Vidit some time now, if you give him some time, he will take the d3 piece and then give you a check and then chop off your knight. So there is a lot of danger for Harikrishna. And there is only move. Look at Vidit. Look at his expression there. Let's have a look at the big screen. You can see that Vidit is not happy with his position. He's like, there must be something, but he's not able to find it right now. But we have not reached that position yet. So let's go back and just make the last move on the board that has happened. What is the move that white should play here? Only move for white to remain in the game here, because Vidit has so many threats, but actually it not only helps white to remain in the game, but also gives him an excellent position. What is that? Yes, yes. On move number 21, Harikrishna decides that, bhai, I need to castle, and he castles his king, and very well done by many of you who have written the move castles. Jaguar, Nikhil, Mukul, Ghulam, Aman, Arush, Avas, Namit, Abhimanyu, Priyesh, Chirag Kumar. I'm happy to see some new names today who are giving the answers. Well done, guys. So, going back, now Vidit actually castles has been played, and Vidit has to decide what to do. Also, if we look at the time here, what is the time on the screen? Vidit has 15 minutes 26 seconds. Harikrishna has 32 minutes. We can see that Vidit has to make 19 moves. After 40 moves, you get 30 minutes here. That is the time control. So now, what is wrong with knight c7? Someone asked in this position. Well, if you were to play knight to c7 here, then, I mean, instead of castles, I'm sure you're asking, then knight takes d3 is a check, and you are in big trouble. Queen d3, and after queen c7, you are 4 pawns down. So it's not easy to play here. I think castles is the correct move. But as Vidit, what do you play? Now, Vidit is thinking to himself, I'm a rook down. I need to make use of this thing which is in my favor. But how do I make use of that? It's not so easy. He has 14 minutes, and you can see Harikrishna is super calm and cool. You know, Hari is just this cool self sitting there with it completely focused. This is sometimes the problem you face when you have gone all out, and then you realize that maybe it was not so easy. Now, a few moves that come to my mind are this e3 square looks a little weak. So can we go knight g4? One possibility. The other one is knight g4 in this position. Also possible. The other knight. And the other possibility here, which I think, take on d3. Now, if rook takes d3, you all know the bishop takes knight, the knight is hanging, that is game over. But queen takes, supporting here, and in comes a check. I'm checking you and I'm threatening your knight. Isn't that winning for black? What's the move for white, guys? White to play. What is the move here? Can you find it? White to move. Guys, please do like the stream. And also, our aim for today is to reach 920,000 subscribers. We are just 135 away, and we can get there. Exactly. Guys, not knight d4. Knight d4 is wrong. You have to find the right notation. I want right notation only, because both knights can go to d4. The b knight, the e knight, both. So which one? Yes, knight e d4. Excellent job. Knight e d4 at the top. I'm very happy that the notation has been corrected here. Vikas, Martin, Rishabh, Mistadam, Pranay, Ansh, Suvir, Dodo, Bondita and Vignesh. You play your knight e to d4. Protect your knight here. And this is now safe. Although Vidit can put more pressure down the d file here, he can still threaten d4 this way. But there are many ways in which white can fight this. Maybe one of them, and a very interesting move, just trying to figure out, can we go rook f4? But that could mean something's loose. Rook f4, bishop takes b5. Now you can't take with the knight because your queen would hang. So you take with the, oh, queen takes, knight takes, and rook is hanging. Rook को ऐसे ही ऊपर नहीं ले सकते. We can't take. Oh, this might be something that Vidit would be thinking about. Vidit would definitely be thinking about this way to play. And that's why he's taking so much time. He's down to 11 minutes. He has 11 minutes on the clock against Harikrishna's 32 minutes. Time is going to play a massive role, I feel, in this game. Yeah, itna complicated game hai, true. The time control of this tournament is 1 hour 30 minutes for 40 moves and then 30 minutes for the rest of the game. So if you reach move 40, you get 30 minutes. But right now, Vidit is totally... And this position, I'm sure he's considering in his head. He's like, can I take advantage of this? It's not so simple how white should continue, but white has this move, rook f5. So very nice move. It's also taking advantage of the back rank weakness, because after, let's say, queen f5, oh sorry, just take queen f5, that doesn't work. But bishop b5, queen b5, takes rook b5, and white is safe. So that does, so overall, there are some defensive ideas, and once Vidit is not able to find something, it would really affect him, because he needs to figure out a way to make progress. This is right now the live position on the board. And if we look at the time that both players have, Vidit has 10 minutes only for making 19 moves. In fact, he's now for 20 moves that he has to make. This is not going to be easy with such a complicated position. Yeah, today is a rest day at Norway Chess, guys. From tomorrow, Rakshit says rook c8 here. Okay, rook c8. Queen b3. Or maybe Rakshit, instead of queen b3, how about putting queen on a4, attacking your bishop? I think that might be even more smart. So sorry, this is the move that Rakshit was saying, that here we should play rook c8, and I was thinking, why not queen a4, attacking the bishop. Castles, and let's stick with our video. By the way, a huge thanks to the organizing team of Prague International Chess Festival, who has given us these cameras to broadcast. It gives such a nice real-time feel of the game. You can literally see the pressure of how Vidit is thinking, of how these great players, are putting in their energy, how the time pressure affects them. All of these things can be learned from these videos, and I think it's a very, very important thing for all of us to see, because sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes one calculation error in your game and you are suddenly left with a position where it's very difficult to salvage. And this is exactly what is happening. Yeah, that 40 minutes on 9th move, I agree with you that maybe it was a bit too much. But I think it's also after a long time that he's playing a classical event, and also could be the reason. Maybe as the tournament goes on, he could start playing faster. But taking 40 minutes for one move can really backfire sometimes. Sumalya Bhattacharya says, can we go rook d8 now? That's a good question, Sumalya. Can we play rook to d8? And that is a very, very tempting move. So you see, guys, you also are giving so many good suggestions here. With rook d8 putting pressure here, it seems like a playable move. But then comes knight e to d4. And once this move comes in, you realize that there is no compensation. And when you are rook down, all it takes is one wrong move to turn the tide. So actually rook d8 does not move. So the move here, I think, which Vidit might go for is knight eg4. Because with this move, he is looking at e3 with a massive fork incoming, triple fork. This might be something, but on the other hand, I think Vidit has somehow frozen a bit. Oh, he's played his move. Although there's a small lag in the video, we can just go to the video and see what is he going to play here. Because the move will come. We know the move he's played on the board is knight takes d3. Look at how the eyes are moving, yeah? Look at how the player, he's thinking. He also knows that he's low on time. And there you go. He's going to make his move. Knight takes on d3. He's chopped off the bishop on d3. And I think that was the best move in the position. Taking there. So let's go to our board and try to analyze after he takes what is Harikrishna's only move. I don't think Harikrishna will take a lot of time for this move. He's going to take it. Oh, he's taken it. Queen takes d3 has happened on the board. Queen takes d3 and now Vidit needs to move quickly because he is low on time. And what does Vidit play here? Vidit has prepared something here. Actually speaking, he goes queen c5 check. Yes, David Navara was in the background. So he goes queen c5 check here. And guys, we have that position on the board that we were discussing. What we were discussing has happened now. Harikrishna's only move here, only move in this position is to play knight ed4. Otherwise, Vidit is going to chop off this knight. And Harikrishna does put his knight on d4. And you can see that Vidit also makes his next move pretty quickly. So you will see that players start moving faster. They take some time. And now Vidit will play his rook to d8. That is what has happened. We can see on the live board. But the video has like a 10-second or so lag. And he plays his rook to d8. So he's putting pressure on Hari. He's putting pressure this way. He's putting pressure this way. Now imagine guys, if this was the position that you were facing in your game. Now Harikrishna has his task cut out. Because, okay, he has time 30 minutes on the clock. He has 31 minutes, which is really in his favor. But he has to figure out the details. The big threat, first of all, if I do nothing. Okay, let's say I like to make move like h3. Just so that there is nothing that is happening. Now, what is the move that black will play? What is the move that black will play here? So you can engross yourself in the position. You can immerse yourself. So you understand what is happening. What's the move? Let me see. What is the move that you have suggested? Well done, guys. Bishop to b5. That is the correct move. I take bishop takes b5. Now you can't take knight takes b5 because your queen would hang. By the way, how many of you said bishop b5? 59 of you. Well done. Mr. Dam, Ashutosh, Arnav, Soham, Rakesh, Garaham, Chess, Craze, Prakhar, Flame, Riddhi. So now, after this, you must take with the queen. And once you take with the queen, this next move also is very clear. What is it? Guys, very quickly so that we know that your idea was correct. What is the move here that wins, not wins, but gives black equality at least? He cannot take with the knight at all. Correct. I said queen is hanging, but the knight is pinned. Sorry. Mohammad Azruddin Ansari, you are right. A2 is also an excellent move that you suggested. I'll come to it. Rook d4 is the correct move. Great job, guys. Rook takes d4 and you are back in the game because now you are only exchanged down. Pranay Akula, Bondita, Siddharth, Mista, Chess, Deepika, Cheslak, Rakesh, Deven and Harilal. You all are correct here. So this cannot be played. There was one very nice suggestion made here that instead of doing anything like bishop b5, rook d4, why don't we just put this little guy here, threatening rook a1 queen and deflecting this rook, so that then bishop b5 and rook d4, all these ideas come into the picture because the rook is not here. So that is a very good suggestion by you and I like it. So now h3, you understand the threat is basically to take and take on d4, so that even if he takes the queen, b takes c5 supports the knight. So just to make that very obvious, if h3, bishop b5, queen b5, rook d4, queen c5, pawn takes c5, rook d4, cd4, rook a1, and in this position, I mean there are many ways to play, but let's say if I go something like knight d7, rook takes a3, knight e5, rook takes a7, I can go f6, and then after check, king f7, rook d8, d3. This is a draw because now, oh, you can see that Vidit gets up from his chair. He feels confident, yeah? Or is he just bluffing? The knight defends the pawn defends the knight. This would be a draw in the position. So this is what Vidit would be hoping for. But Harikrishna, with all his calmness, as you can see here, super calm in the position, with 27 minutes on the clock, knows that he is winning here. He knows it. Two Indians, you know, playing against each other in Prague. One more, India #1 in Norway. It's very interesting. Why can't Hari? Babu Raghunathan asks a very good question. Why can't Hari play rook f4? Babu, we just saw it a few minutes ago that this is a bad move. Not okay, not here. Sorry, here. Rook f4. This is a bad move because at the end the rook on d1 is undefended. So I take on b5. You take with the queen. I take the queen. You take the queen and rook d1. So that's the reason why you cannot play rook f4. Why not queen takes a3, asks Deven. Deven, again, an interesting suggestion by you. But the problem with this move is, what is the problem, guys? Hari, Vidit and Shashikiran is playing. We'll also look at Shashikiran's game. Yes. The move that here, Murtaza, very good job. Murtaza Hussain, Chinmaya Mishra, Alok Raj, Paras Bhoir, Patrick Bro, Sambhu Prasad. The move is, no, you can't play bishop b5 here. That would be a mistake because after queen takes c5, pawn takes c5, knight takes b5, white is a rook up. So you have to begin with queen takes a3, knight takes a3, bishop takes f1. You can't take with the rook, otherwise your knight would hang. So king takes f1, and once again in this position it should be a draw because here now 3 pawns for black for a piece is a good enough one. You can see there Harikrishna having a glass of water. He's thinking there. He wants to figure out how to win this position. It is not a trivial matter. Even Vidit is thinking, you know, that perhaps he has his chance here. What is the best way for white to play? And Vidit putting a lot of psychological pressure there, getting up, trying to move around. Maybe not just pressure, he's just feeling a bit fidgety there. But Harikrishna is so relaxed. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm just figuring out what to do. I'll figure out. What is the winning move here? That is a question. That's a good question. Let's try to think. What is a winning move? Because all the variations we saw until now were leading to a draw. So that already shows how difficult it is. But look at this move, guys. Rook f e1. And you might ask me, but how does that solve anything? Well, the point is that after take, he's playing his move. He's playing his move. Let's go to the board and see what is he going to play. Oh, he's gone back. He's about to play his move, but he's still gone. He's just finalizing, guys. He's finalizing his move. 23 minutes for Harikrishna. He's just making that final calculation to ensure that he doesn't make an error here. So here the problem is after rook f e1, back rank mate, very good Sachin. Take on b5, queen b5, and the last when we had played a move h3 and the rook was on f1. Oh, he's making the move. Let's go. Rook. Oh, he's moving his rook. Rook f e1 on the board. That is a good move by Harikrishna. It was not easy to figure out. That was, and Vidit goes. Oh, look at the speed with which Vidit has made his move. Wow. Guys, the game is heating up like anything. After rook f e1, now if here rook takes d4, then rook e1, rook e8 is over because takes. Siddharth Ranadev, who has been a pillar of Indian chess for 19 months, says, hope you are doing well, Sagar. Siddharth, very well. Thank you for following all the live streams. Good to see almost all Indian top players OTB playing OTB tournaments now, and great to have player camps. Yeah, I'm also very happy that the Prague event, sent us this thing and they were very kind. Rook takes d4, and now with rook a4 coming up, this would be just lost. So that's the reason why rook f e1 sets up a nasty back rank threat in the position. And now the question is, what does Vidit do? In fact, Vidit played his move within 1 second. So you see how Vidit is actually putting pressure on Harikrishna. He has played his pawn to a2. And he's pushed his pawn to a2 here. And he's telling Hari that, look, Hari, if you are careless, I will queen. And after rook takes, I will take on b5. Because after bishop b5, I have queen d4 check. Your rook is no longer defending this. So that a2 pawn is a very, very dangerous pawn. And Harikrishna has to find the only move here. You can see Harikrishna has his hand on his head. He's seen the move. I think he has spotted the move that he wants to play. But I want you guys to spot it. What should white play here? Guys, very quickly, can you tell me? White to move. What is the best move? Think, calculate. Calculate here. And can you play it before Hari does? You know, when a chess player knows the move, you can literally sense it. It's there in his fingers. He wants to make it. Like sometimes you're sitting like this and you know you've not found the move. But here, the way Harikrishna has his hand, you know that he wants to play it, but he's making his final calculations. So the move that all of you are suggesting, and actually it's not at all easy because Queen c3, fantastic job done here. So many of you have suggested Queen c3 here in the position. Okay. So Queen c3, and my question is, how is this working out? Because after Queen c3, by the way, the move has not been played by Harikrishna. He's still thinking. He's just confirming. Seems so random. Yeah, that's true. But see, first of all, if you take bishop b5, I will take on c5, take on c5 and knight b5. This is winning. It's very clean. This is winning. So the other possibility here is queen takes c3, knight takes c3, and the natural question is what happens to a1 queen? Am I not winning the d4 knight? But, oh, the bishop is hanging and rook takes a6 and white is now again a rook up. So actually speaking, if Harikrishna manages to find queen c3, I think it's already game over. I mean, there will be some more defenses, but this is not an easy move to find. Why not queen a3, says Amar Zafar. That's a good question, Amar. Why not here? Because after take, knight takes, and in this position I can make a queen, rook takes, and unfortunately your knight is in between the path of your rook. You can't take on a6. So that's the reason why it's important not to play queen a3 but queen c3. Queen c3 is the kind of the only move for Harikrishna here to figure out if he can win. And you can see Hari knows that this is the critical moment. This is a very important thing what good players do. They know when the critical moment is there and when they have to think. And here it's very straightforward. Either you are losing back your material and the game equalizes and ends in a draw, or you are able to find that one move that gives you the advantage. And can't you do nc2 attacking both bishop and rook? You mean nc7 or what? Here? No, I didn't get your point. Queen c3 stops the a2 pawn in the most effective way, says Savita Chess. I think Hari will find it. Yeah, let's see if Harikrishna is able to find it or not, because if we see the live board, Harikrishna has 18 minutes, Vidit has 7 minutes on the clock, and Hari is not hurrying up. He's just very calm. Ayam Saxena says knight c2 after queen a3 variation. Oh, Ayam, you're going even deeper there, huh? Very interesting. So Ayam is saying queen a3, take, queen, rook takes, and why not rook knight c2? Nice. So that you attack the bishop and also the rook. The only problem is that there is one move here that saves black again, and that move is they are wearing the same color shirt. Yeah, nice observation there. That is true. No, here there are no Armageddon. So here Armageddon, because here a draw is a draw. So rook d2, fantastic job guys, excellent move suggested by so many of you. This is the right move by Sagar, Official, Rhythm, Garv, Mistadam, Gauransh, Prabhas, Harilal, Wilmer and Rakesh Raja. Okay, going back to the position on the board after a2, I'm actually wondering what is Hari going to do now. And he's also going to come down on time, but once he finds queen c3, I believe that there is... Let's just look at it a little deeper, shall we? Because once he plays queen c3, is Vidit just lost? Or is there something that Vidit can fight back over there? Because after bishop b5, queen c5, bc5, knight b5, that's just winning. I don't even know what move to make here. Let's say Vidit goes h6. Just waiting move. Take. Knight is attacked. If I move, this knight would hang. Knight c7 attacks the bishop. Maybe bishop c4. Some crazy lines, yeah, like this. This should be losing for black because you are just a piece down, a rook down. Okay, Harikrishna seems to be about to make his move. Finds queen c3 on the board, and I think you can see there that Harikrishna has managed to get that move in which means it's going to be very, very difficult for Vidit now. Queen moves to c3. Vidit has 6 minutes 46 seconds, and actually what is to be played here for white now, sorry, for black, is not very clear. Vidit has 6 minutes 36 seconds. Hari using all his calmness and figuring out that excellent move. Riddhi Vyas, I will give a recap once the game is over. I had given it once. Now let's follow the live position. And by the way, Vidit actually manages to find this move at 6, which is actually maybe the most fighting move in the position. Very interesting. And Vidit is telling Hari that, look, what I am going to do here is that I have no real ideas. But if you take queen takes c5, my pawn will take back. So here is what Vidit's idea is. If you take queen takes c5, b takes c5. Now the problem is, if you move this knight, I will take here. But we looked at this variation which was super complex after knight c7. And then after bishop c4, knight c6. And you can't go rook c8 because of knight e7 check, and you win the rook. And this should be winning, like you are rook up. Okay, black has 4 pawns, but still this two knights will manage it for him. So h6 played by Vidit is a good move, but a good move in a bad position. It's like, you know, it's like he doesn't have too many options here. Chaitanya Kabra says, what if Hari also plays a waiting move like h3? Interesting, Chaitanya, but I think h6 was more useful to Vidit than Harikrishna. I'll tell you why. Imagine that if Vidit played the move knight e4 here. Okay? Just a interesting thought. Then you would play rook takes e4, and I would play bishop takes b5. Now you can't play knight b5 because the knight is pinned, but you can take here and pawn takes, and if you take knight b5, your rook is hanging. So in this position, it has got really messy because you can't save it. But knight e4 is met with queen takes b3, c5, b takes c5. Now I'm attacking this knight, but in comes this very cool move, knight c2. And you will realize that after rook d1, there is no time to pick up this knight because it is a mate here. So that's the reason why Vidit took his time and played the move h6. Now if Harikrishna also goes that route and plays h3, then after knight to e4, already you cannot be sure about who is better now. Because this is pinned, a1 is coming, queen takes c3 is now hanging. Oh, what did he play? He took the queen. He took the queen, which is actually the best move, I guess. Queen takes c5 is the best move by Hari. And now Hari has to once again find knight c7 on the board. I think if you have said A, you will say B. And so Harikrishna should be able to find knight c7. Because otherwise, why did he play his queen to c5? He'll just lose a piece. It's very rare, guys, that you get to see a position with 4 pawns for a rook. No, I mean, if you take, Vignesh, if you take queen takes c5, then yeah, you must play it. Otherwise, if you just move your knight away, then this hangs. So otherwise you'll lose a piece, right? So knight c7 is kind of forced. Harikrishna plays it in the position, and now Vidit has 6 minutes 54 seconds to figure out what to do next. Can bishop e2 be a move for black, says Rambo? But Rambo, if I take just knight e2, that doesn't look good. Rakshit says an interesting, yeah, there is 30 minutes after move 40. We are on move 27. So let's say I take cd, knight a6 and d3. So your two pawns are fighting. If the two pawns were together, they would be very strong, but they are alag alag. So if you are not united, that's not good enough. I go rook a1 here. Oops, sorry. So I was just making these moves. C here, knight a6. Sorry, cd4, knight a6, d3, rook a1, and then d2, rook d1. So everything kind of protected, these two pawns taken care by the rooks. And then comes the move knight e4. Of course, defending your pawn, also threatening here. So I play rook takes a2. Now my threat is to take this pawn. So you can't go knight c3 because of rook takes d2. So you go rook c8. Your idea is to come in here. But it's also not a threat, because the moment you come to c1, then there is rook takes d2. And Vidit actually plays, I think, the most complex move in the position, which is in fact a good idea. He plays his bishop to c4 here. Instead of taking this, he's like, okay, let me just dominate this knight. It cannot come here, it cannot come here. It is dominated by the bishop. Bishop, yeah. No. I mean, here knight c6 looks very steady for white. Knight to c6 is just very correct, because then the rook is hanging, and if you play rook c8, I have knight e7 check. The rook doesn't have much space on the last rank. So you take, I take. And if we assess this position, where is black's counterplay coming from, guys? Can you figure out? I mean, for me, it's not so clear. Where is black's counterplay? Is it coming in from, because this pawn, in order to promote, needs the help of this knight. So knight here, here, and here, right? How much time left for Hari? Just to show you the board with the time. Hari has 11 minutes 21 seconds and Vidit has 5 minutes 39 seconds. This is the live board with the clock. Move count is 29. There are 11 more moves to be made. And if I go, let's say, knight e4 now, his idea, Sun Tzu sends a huge super chat again and says, thank you Sun Tzu for your super chat. It's interesting to see folks like Anand and Prague play in a field where most of the opponents are higher rated to challenge themselves and show their mettle. While with it, no, I don't think this is correct, because it's also a lot depends on the invitations. So the players can't choose the tournaments that they play. And this is the truth about top level chess, that it's very difficult to get invited to big events. And for players who are, let's say, in world top 20 to 50, this is a constant struggle because the top 20 players are always invited to the top tournaments, while the other players have to figure out. And that is why it is very important that for our youngsters and for our top players, that they get more opportunity by tournaments that are organized in our country, top level tournaments that are organized. And unfortunately in India there are hardly any super tournaments. There's only one that happens, Tata Steel Chess India. So this Prague Masters is right now a pretty decent event. It's a very strong event, I would say. Although Vidit is the top seed, it's only by 5 elo points. There is Shankland, there is Hari, there is also Navara, Salem, Maghsoodloo. It's a very like Quang Liem, pretty strong field there. No, today there is no Vishy's game. There is a rest day at Norway Chess. And now Harikrishna is thinking what to do. Actually, the live position, I was just analyzing this, trying to make this work. But it seems very difficult. Knight e4, knight d2. Yeah, knight c6. Harikrishna has once again found the best move in the position. So Hari has played a series of excellent moves. In fact, starting from this position here, from this moment onwards, where Vidit actually made a mistake, he could have played bishop takes b5 and got an advantage. But knight c6, starting from here, that is move number 18, Hari has played all the best moves. Rook d1, queen e7, he took 2 moves. Then he played castles, 3rd move best. Okay, this is kind of forced, 4th move. Knight d4, 5th move. Now this was a very important moment, 6th move. There was another move, rook f5 here, which was also very good, but rook f e1, very 6th. Then queen c3, 7th move. Here h6 was played. And then 8th move, 9th move, and 10 moves. So by making one good move after another, he has put Vidit in a difficult situation. Rook takes d1, rook takes d1 has been played. Swahil, who has been a pillar of Indian chess for 12 months, says after originals we need CBI Invitational Super Tournament. Yeah, Swahil, we really are looking forward to do some things with the support that we have through so many people who follow. And I think this is something that will definitely flow from what is happening, that we will be able to have at least, see, in a way with Vidit versus Anish game, it's like an Indian player, top Indian player, gets to play against a world class GM. And if we can do this again and again and bring in, of course, more formats, classical formats and so on, that would be awesome. Like, our youngsters playing against top players in the world. So generally in such situations, if you want to invite top players to play against young talents, the way is that most of the times it's the fee that they would demand, like the prize money or the appearance fee. And if that kind of sponsorship is raised and that kind of prize money is raised, then at that point these players get more chance. And this is what many by the way, Vidit is playing. That's what China did for many years. It gave a lot of opportunities to Ding Lijian. I think it invited Anish. They invited Anish, Wesley So, Grishchuk. I think all the top players came there and played against Ding. And today Ding has become one of the strongest in the world. And I think it's these constant opportunities which do help. So rook takes d1 has happened. And now for Vidit, actually, if you can see, Vidit looks slightly mellowed there because 2 minutes on the clock, he's rook down. It's very difficult to figure out how to create play. And I think this game, and you can see Hari gets up, even though he has only 9 minutes on the clock, he knows that he's won the game. So you can already see it from the players' expressions that where the game is flowing. And I have a feeling that uh, Vidit might resign as well, but I think it's a little too soon to resign because you have this one idea which is to bring your knight to e4 to c3 to b1, something like that. Why not bd3, says Benjamin. Oh, that's a nice move, Benjamin. I like this move. Wow, it's a very cool move. It reminds me of a game that we play as youngsters. Have you ever played? Amruta likes to call it Visha Amrut. Have you played that? It's also maybe, I don't know what it's called in English, but look at there. Hari comes in. He knows that Vidit has only a minute left on his clock, so he is bound to make his move pretty soon. But bishop d3, the idea is, yeah, poison medicine, something like a lock and key. The thing is, this guy, you go and you save it. But the problem is, yes, this would have been a great position if the rook was trapped forever. But in comes the knight, and from here it will come to here, and it will remove this guy. So although this guy has locked him up, here this guy comes with the medicine. Sorry. I make this mistake always. So yeah, here bishop d3, you can go rook a1, he traps the rook here, and then knight comes out, and b3 and d2. Meanwhile, Vidit is just thinking a lot. He has what, 36 seconds left? Oh, he's played bishop d3 here. And that has happened, what we were talking about, the Visha Amrut thing has happened. Bishop d3. Hari instantly goes rook a1 because he knows that if he didn't play that, bishop b1 would have locked his rook out. But now the rook is locked in on b1. So this has actually transpired on the board. But after this, lock and key, yes, the rook is locked, but in comes the knight with the key. And I think the other knight can come here with the lock, but it's going to take time. So let's say I'm going with the key, I'm running with the key, I'm running with the lock, I'm running with the key. And I'm first to reach here. Okay, still, game goes on. But then maybe the other guy comes. It's like everyone will come there. And then in the end you lose. Like king f8, knight b4. Now you 1, 2, 3. It's game over. So this entire variation and the sequence is quite easy for white to figure, mainly because black has no firepower. I mean, one firepower, of course, is this pawn coming down the board, but Harikrishna can just stop it this way. And the other plan could also be to bring your king in like this. Sai Praveen Gumadi, who's been backer of Indian chess for 16 months, says this win is much needed confidence booster for Hari. Yeah, I agree. Hari Krishna has also had tough time recently. If you look at his rating, he's at borderline on 2700. He's 2701, and with this win, he should be able to really make a great start in this tournament. For Vidit also, it's kind of a tough beginning, but a long tournament ahead. If you look, it's the tournament is actually a 8-player event. No, it's actually 10-player event. So there are 9 rounds. So there is a lot to play for. Yeah, knight to g4 and e3 and c2. Ah, okay, that's so. So Hari goes with the king. You know, he brings his king up the board. With it down to his last 30 seconds. So he must, by the way, this clock is a little bit ahead than normal. 10 seconds ahead. With it plays knight to g4 check. Peter says Hari's last win against 2700 opponent was back. Yeah, check here. Knight to g4. And Harikrishna goes king to e2. Vidit has chopped off the pawn on h2, but that seems a little bit too little to fight for. I mean, that pawn actually, if you see, black has now 5 pawns for a rook, but those pawns are not advanced. That is the main problem. Yes, they right after every move. And Harikrishna now thinking he can bring his knight back. Keshavanand Jha says, Sagarbai, don't you think VD and AG are not in their actual form? I think, I mean, of course, Vidit has just started his event, so it's too early to say. But with Anish, who was playing in right now the Norway chess event, I think he was He's in kind of okay form, you know. He played a very good game against, who was it recently, and against Rajabov, and he won. But yeah, he lost to Mamedyarov. Maybe not in the best form, true. No, Mukul, I think it's very difficult for white to blunder anything here because let's say even if I go knight takes a7, what is black going to do here? I'll just take that pawn. Let's say we go here and I take this pawn. What are you going to do? He goes knight to e5. He plays in the position. Puts his knight here. Yeah, knight e5. No, here they have to write till the end because here the increment is 30 seconds per move, not 10 seconds like in Norway chess. So, I mean, there is no increment. So here they have to write the move. F6, pushing the knight away. Hari most likely will go to c4 and then to d2. I think that looks steady. Yeah, knight comes to c4 and then coming to d2. Yeah, it's a single round robin tournament. Sayantan Ghosh says, why do I feel like the pawns are going to play a role? Not really. I don't think the pawns are going to play a role because somehow if you look here, okay, Vidit goes bishop e4. The main point is that if he gets the g2 pawn, that could be something. That could be. Also, guys, this is move number 34. Vidit still has to make 6 more moves in the position. So bishop e4 and Harikrishna has to play here. If he takes this and bishop takes g2, here I think he has some chances because all of white's pawns are lost. Even this is losing, but at least some hope here. Because then I can go like king, wherever I go, let's say king d3, there is bishop f1. I'm able to remove my pieces which are hanging here. If I go king e3, then perhaps knight g4 or maybe even bishop f1 hitting the knight. So I think a good idea for Hari would be not to hurry. Sorry to use that again and again. Yes, there is a 30 minute more increment after. Yeah, Hari never hurries. That's true. Yeah, the Hari jokes of hurrying never get old. Yeah. There was this one time when Hari played against Giri, and then the thing which was, by the way, goes 93. Thing which was used was harakiri or something like that. That's also some English word where you create some kind of chaos on the board. So it's harakiri, and that was harigiri, and you can make a lot of word plays there. So now with 2 minutes, oh okay, what's Vidit going to play? He plays f5. He pushes his pawn and he is threatening to play f4. Here there is a tactical idea, I think, which will solve Hari's problem. After I take, you play f4. Now if I move the knight, you will lose this pawn. So what is the tactical sequence here, guys? What's the move that white should play? See, he took. If Vidit plays f4, what's the move that Hari wants to play? Bhavesh BS, very good. Learn with PV, Rakshit Singh, Patrick Bro, Ayush Patel, Kirit. So the move is Rook A4. If you take on E3, I'll take on E4. If you move the bishop, I'll take on F4. So that's the reason why Harikrishna here, Vidit here played G5. Still looking for the move F4. And you can see how Harikrishna is pacing himself well. He has 4 more moves to make. He has 2 minutes on the clock. Two minutes 12 seconds on the clock. 48 seconds for Vidit. So time wise, if he makes 4 more moves, he should be fine. And Harikrishna, they're just, you know, it's those final moments sometimes which create some stress. And I think he might be a little tense. But what if I just play king f2? Isn't that okay? Or just have to be careful. If king f2 in this position, f4, I'll just move my knight away, knight c4. You go check. I go king g1. Somehow Vidit is looking to liquidate the last pawns on the board with this. And then when this is pawnless, okay, I do get it. I mean, Harikrishna would love to keep his pawn. This should win, but it's tricky. It's tricky. So Harikrishna now goes, what did he play? Knight. He went knight d. Oh, smart. Harikrishna, if you go f4, what is Hari's idea now? Yeah, he wants to give a fork there with knight f6 check. So that shouldn't work. And with it very low on time, is to make a move. Correct, guys. Knight f6 is correct. G3, I'm a bit worried, Padmanabhan, is because of f4 move, you know, exchanging that pawn. Vidit, I think, goes to his last few seconds, yeah, for his move. He's like 2 seconds on the clock, plays king f7, presses the clock. King f7 on the board. And now I think Hari will... Okay, he can take rook a7 check. This is playable. Just take this pawn. Also playable is come back with the knight to c3. Yeah. He plays knight to c3. This is classical. Venkatesh Venki says something very interesting. He says, at childhood, we had lessons about Hari, Hampi, Harika, Anand, feeling proud witnessing them, because back then we used to think that the people... Oh, resign. Knight c3, Vidit has resigned this game, and that is Harikrishna wins. And they are discussing the game. I think Vidit mentioned about bishop takes b5. I think that is the move he's talking about, that in the opening he should not have played here knight c6. He should have taken this. And you can see how they are analyzing blindfolded there. although they are competitors, they are also part of the same team and also good friends of each other, Vidit and Harikrishna. I think once Vidit went wrong with knight c6, Hari gave him no chance. Just, yeah. Also, very nice to see that Vidit is analyzing this game even after losing it, because it shows that he is pretty calm, cool, and collected. Also, he did think, I think he knows that he had his chance there in the opening, but yeah, from this point onwards, Hari Krishna played tremendously. Here Vidit should have played bishop takes b5. This is still something which I'm not 100% sure. I feel that Vidit might have missed something here, but not sure what. Maybe long castles, huh? But okay, very at the very least you have bishop d3 here. So it's not like, look at this. Salem looked there and said, some noise. This usually happens in tournaments when you are analyzing. Your opponent tells you, please don't make that noise, and then you say, oh, I'm sorry, I never wanted to disturb you, kind of a thing. Um, yeah, let's have a look at what Shashi Kiran is up to. Also, I have some other boards here which we can just have a look at. By the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed, we have 29 more people to reach 920k. So let's do that before the end of today's stream. So here are a few cams that I had. Vallejo Pons. What? Still opening, or? They only played so many moves. Maybe it was some. This may be some old feed, huh? Oh, this was over. Already over. I think Sam won, or no, Sam lost. 1 second. Let's just quickly have a look here. So this is, second, Salem versus Vallejo Pons, right? Salem versus Vallejo Pons. Let's have a look as to what is happening there. It seems like Vallejo Pons, who is from Spain, is better. His pawn is not pawn up, but he has an extra outside pawn here on b4, which could be very strong. So Salem under some pressure. This is already over, this game. This one is Quang Liem got the better of Sam Shankland. Wow. Can we just go through this game once? A3, okay. Seems around fine for black, starting off very solidly. Yeah, looks around equal till this point. How did Shankland manage to lose here? Is a good question. Takes, takes. Oof! Oh, he blundered here. Just making the board a little bit bigger so that you guys don't have any trouble to see it. But look at this. In this position, if he had played rook takes d1, queen takes d1, and queen c8, it was equal. But he went knight c3, and what was the move he missed here? Chess is tough. Chess is tough. So not rook takes b8, then knight e2 check, and black wins. No, not rook d8. Rook d8, queen d8. He had it covered there. Aha, have we completed 920k? No, not yet, guys. Not yet. We have 19 more people or 18 more to go. 16. Okay, step by step. So the move here is actually very, yes, queen d3. He played rook d8, queen d8, and queen d3, which is also good. But okay, that's the point. Yeah, queen d3 has to be played. If you take this back rank, it's a great position for back rank. He got into trouble there. But if he had played queen d3 directly, he would have won even faster, right? Here, queen d3. You can't take with the rook because queen takes b8. And it just lost. You're just losing a queen. Queen d3 directly. Nice move. Nice move. Isn't this good, guys? Beautiful, right? Queen d3. Why not queen d2, says Rutvik. That's a good question, Rutvik. Queen d2, knight d1, rook b8, rook b8. And I think here you have to take here. So it leads to the same position. But if your queen was on d3 instead, then after knight d1, you have an intermediate move after take of going knight g5, threatening check here. So after g6, now you can forget about this knight and go queen d7, threatening a mate here. So that was a little subtle point, but yeah, nice question. So this was how Shankland lost. So a good game to analyze. Let's look at this one. This is between David Navara and Anton Guijarro. White seems to be pressing ever so slightly here. This nice structure and everything. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Let's have a look at the game of next one. This is around equal, maybe small edge for David. This is the talented Czech player Guyen Thaidai 1. He's playing against Parham Maghsoodloo. And it seems like Parham is going to win this. Because in this endgame, even if you take here, even if you take here, this outside passed pawn is very strong. I think it will be winning. Like you can just push the pawn to a2 and then go bishop e7, bishop f6 and queen. Shashi Kiran Drew says Nikaru. Okay. And let me see what Hans Niemann. Hans Niemann, I think, is playing in against Abdusattorov. This is the other tournament. Trying to see. So we have covered all the games of the Masters, but there is also a there's also a Challengers tournament. So let's have a look at that. This is Niemann versus Abdusattorov, two tremendously fighting players. The position is around equal. I think these two are really huge talents, huge talents in chess. Queen b1 check. Oh, queen b1 played here. Guys, look at these two. Hans Niemann on the left, Abdusattorov on right. Abdusattorov is the current world rapid champion. He beat Magnus Carlsen, and Niemann has been winning so many tournaments, such a big, very strong player. And let's look at the next camera. Maybe they're just drawing the game now. This is Racek Zbainek. No, not Racek, sorry. This is Stochek. Oh, it's over. Stochek lost to Pechak. Slovakia. Pechak is from Slovakia. So Stochek loses. And, let's see, this is Warmerdam. Max Warmerdam was playing against Shashi, and that game has ended in a draw. So Shashi Kiran has started off with a solid draw, it seems. He was white here. This poison pawn line he has played. Okay, some new idea by Shashi Kiran. But I'm not sure if this was all prep. Could very well be. Yeah, draw agreed. Very theoretical game. Very. Vincent Kaimar versus Racek. And Vincent, again, a big talent here, is kind of winning his game against Racek. Yeah. I think the reason why he's winning is because check to the king. If you go king f8, rook c8, king d8, I take on f7. If b2, I have always king c2. And now next I can go rook h7 and check, and yeah, should be winning. So this is again winning for Vincent. Okay, so these are, I think Michalik beat Krzyzanowski. So that's how the tournament is, guys. I hope you enjoyed the coverage of it. We tried to set up multiple scenes. Like here, we analyzed the games along with the live board. We also had one more scene where we could look at just the game with the board. Then we had just the board here without anything, the clocks here. So try to come as well prepared, and I hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow we'll also cover Anand's game and we'll also cover this game, so there will be good balance also between them. Vidit has lost 5.3 rating points and Hari has gotten 5.3. Okay, nice. Yeah, so Hari will move to 2706, I think, and Vidit will move to 2718. Long way ahead in this tournament. Who is Vidit playing tomorrow and who is Anand? Anand is playing Mamedyarov. And let me just look at whom Vidit is playing. And who Hari is playing. So Harikrishna plays Vallejo Pons and Vidit plays Anton Guijarro tomorrow. Okay, guys, do like the stream and do subscribe. We have another 17 people left, 16 people left, 15 people left, 14 people left to reach 920k. Okay, please do subscribe if you haven't. Till then, I'll try to put up a small little ad which you can follow and let me know if you like it.
In a world that is going increasingly digital, it's sometimes nice to hold things in your hand. The ChessBase India Premium Chess Set is our attempt to give you a great feel of playing chess in real life. The first thing we wanted to ensure was that the product was of the best possible quality. When you buy the ChessBase India Premium Chess Set, you get a chessboard, high quality chess pieces, a bag for the pieces, a bag for the chessboard as well. All of this is carefully packed so that when we courier it to you, you receive it in the best possible condition. We take pride in the fact that the chess sets are manufactured in India. Here are some features of the premium chess set. It is 96mm standard weighted and felted set of Staunton design. Fine crafted, high class plastic pieces of 3.75 inches height. Total weight of the pieces is around 800 grams. Usual pieces are around 300 to 400 grams. You have two extra queens included. 55mm by 55mm high quality vinyl board with notation with ChessBase India logo in the corner and a leatherite finish. You have two flat nylon drawstrings for the board and pieces. The ChessBase India logo. It is also a perfect product to gift your loved ones. We also have gift wrapping options in the ChessBase India shop. So what are you waiting for? Get your hands on the ChessBase India Premium Chess Set and challenge someone to a game of chess in real life. Link is in the description.
Guys, that was the Chessbase India premium chess set. It's the second link in the description. You can also check it out. I will end today's stream. Thank you all for following, and I will end it with a small bit of ad on the Chessbase 16 and Mega. There are two links in the description. One is of the chess set, which is the second one, and the first one is of Chessbase 16 and Mega database in case you want it and want to prepare for your tournaments.
Chessbase 16 is a powerful software where you can save your games and analyze them. You can also create databases and manage them. It's a powerful tool for any serious chess player and is used by all the top grandmasters in the world of chess, be it Carlsen, Anand, or any other tournament player. The best database that works along with Chessbase 16 is Mega Database 2022. The database opens inside of Chessbase and has over 9.2 million games with over 100,000 of them being analyzed and annotated by top grandmasters across the world. The biggest advantage of this database is that you can search any position and get to know who has played it before with the reference feature. You can also prepare professionally against your next opponent, which will help you to gain precious rating points in your next tournament. Get the Chessbase 16 and Mega database now. Link is in the description.
Okay, guys, that was Chessbase 16 and Mega database, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Vidit versus Anton Guijarro. We have Harikrishna taking on Vallejo Pons, and we will have Vishy Anand taking on Maghsoodloo. So a blockbuster day tomorrow with India number 1, 2 and 3 all playing against each other. That is going to be a lot of fun. Take care, guys. Thank you for following. Bye bye.